Welcome back to Mathematics Form 3, the topic about lines and angles 2. We are going through exercises and I am presenting 10 questions for you. The way this is going to be done is that we are going to display the question one by one. After we are done reading the question and understanding it, then you can pause, stop the video for a while, trying to solve the question on your own. Use your own piece of paper and calculators if necessary. Then after you are done answering it, after you got the answer, or you are done trying, then you can continue playing the video. You can take a look at how I solved the problem. Okay, are you ready? Okay, let's take a look at the first question. AB and CD are parallel lines and EH is a transversal. Take a look at these two parallel lines and one transversal. We are given one angle 54 degree. The question is, what is the size of angle EFB? EFB is this one, right? That's E, F and B. So the angle that the question is asking us is about this one, the one in red. Go and read on the question carefully, understand the question, and then please pause the video. Try it on your own. And then after you are done, you can continue playing the video and take a look at how I solved this problem. Okay, now this is the solution. The question is asking us to find out the value of this angle, the angle in red. The clue that's been given, we have two parallel lines, CD and AB, and one transversal, and there is one angle given there, 54 degree. But the problem is that 54 degree and the angle that we are trying to find is a little bit far away, not so close, and it has no direct relationship between these two. How are we going to do it? Perhaps we can take a look at the neighboring, the adjacent angle, this one for example, in green. Can you tell me what is the relationship between this green angle and the 54 degree there? Think for a while. Yeah, the green angle and 54 degree angle are corresponding angles. And as such, this angle is 54 degree. And what's next? Take a look at this big angle there. This is a straight angle. If I name this angle as A, then what can you tell about angle A and angle 54 degree in green? They are supplementary angles. Two supplementary angles will add up to become 180. Then the solution is going to be A plus 54 degree is equal to 180 degree. Then if we move 54 over to the left, then it becomes minus 54. Then A is equal to 180 minus 54, which is equal to 126 degree. So that is the answer for the question. Move on to the next question. Question number 2 is a little bit similar to the previous question. There are two parallel lines and one transversal, and one angle is given at 119 degree. Please read the question carefully and pause the video for a while. So are you done calculating the angle? Right. I'm going to go through and how to solve this problem. The question here is to find out the angle AFG. Where is AFG? Let's take a look. A moving to F, moving to G. So normally the expectation is to try to find the acute angle. This one, I shall name it as alpha. But angle alpha and 119 has no direct relationship. But perhaps we can find out the adjacent angle to alpha that might be in direct relationship with 119. Let's take a look at this one. I shall name it as beta. So do you see any relationship between beta and 119? Again, beta and 119 are corresponding angles. And as such, beta is equal to 119. 119 degree. Like previous question, alpha and beta are supplementary angle. If they are add up together, they become 180. So alpha plus beta is equal to 180 degree. But beta is 119 degree. So alpha plus 119 equal to 180 degree. Then let's move 119 over to the right and become 100 minus 119. So alpha is equal to 180 degree minus 119 degree. And alpha is actually angle AFG. Is equal to 61 degree. I hope you get the same answer as mine. Move on to the next question. Question number 3. It looks similar. We have two parallel lines and one transversal, but this question has a twist because it has two angles that's given in algebraic form. Please read the question carefully, pause the video and work out the solution on your own. And later on, after you are done answering it, then you can continue playing the video and take a look at how I solved the question. Go ahead. Okay, then PQ and RS are two parallel lines and we have transversal TW. And it's given there. That angle is x plus 12 degree and the other one is 3x plus 48 degree. That two angle has no direct relationship. Let me call these two angles as alpha and beta again. And this is alpha and this is beta. Like previous question, they have no direct relationship, but we can take a look at angle adjacent to alpha, which is angle QUV, which is actually, if I call this theta, then we know it that theta and beta are two corresponding angles. So theta is actually equal to beta. So theta is equal to 3x plus 48 degree. And again, take a look at alpha and theta there. Alpha and theta are two supplementary angles. And their total is, if they add up together, alpha plus theta equal to 180. Right then. But alpha is x plus 12 degree plus theta is now 3x plus 48 degree, and you add up this together, it becomes 180 degree. Okay, now it's time to go and open up the brackets there. So we mix like terms. For example, x and 3x we can add up together, becomes 4x. And 12 and 48 we can add up together, it becomes 60. And this is equal to 180 degree. Then let's move 60 over to the left. It becomes minus 60. So 4x is now 180 minus 60, which is equal to 120. Then we divide both sides with 4, so that both sides of the equation is balanced. On the left, only x is left, while 120 divided with 4 is equal to 30. That's the answer that we're looking for. I hope you get the same answer. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 4. We have two lines crossing each other and we have two parallel lines. And we are given 140 degree and 100 degree there. And then we are to find angle P, the value P. So spend some time reading the question and pause the video. Okay, I hope you're ready. Let's work out the solution together. Observe the question carefully. what can you see? We have P here, which has no direct relationship with 100 degree, and P as well has no direct relationship with 140. But we can always take a look at angles that is adjacent to P. I shall select one over here, which is this one, and I call it alpha as usual. And then, what can you tell about P and alpha if you add up together? Alpha and P add up together, it becomes 100 degree. Why? Because they are vertically opposite angles. Remember, vertically opposite angle has the same value. What about 140 degree over here? How does this information help us? Yes, take a look at 140 and alpha. What is the relationship? 140 degree and alpha are interior angles. If you add up alpha and 140, that equals 180. Total of two interior angles is 180. Then alpha plus 140 is equal to 180 degree. So alpha plus 140 is equal to 180 degree. So alpha is now equal to 180 minus 140, which is 40 degree. So this is the value of alpha. If I name this equation as equation 1, then we put alpha equal to 40 degree into equation 1. Then P plus 40 degree is equal to 100 degree. Then we move 40 over to the left, it becomes minus 40. So P is equal to 100 minus 40, which is equal to 60 degree. There we have it. Move on to the next question. Question 5. Take a look at this triangle TQP. TQP is an isosceles triangle. Take a look at the TQ and PQ are of the same length. And then we have two parallel lines, PT and RS. And we have the value of one angle is 118 degree. And the question is find the value of Y. So spend some time, understand the question, read the question carefully, and then pause the video. When you're ready, you can continue. Okay, now Y and 118 has no direct relationship as usual. So how are we going to solve this problem? Yeah, we are going to need to use a bit of imagination, because 118 can be used, but how are we going to use it? Take a look at these two parallel lines, PT and RS. How that two parallel lines can be linked together? Yes, if you cannot imagine in your head, then what we can do is extend line PQR over to this side. Okay, such that if I name this as A, then APQR is a straight line. What can you tell about this angle over here? If I name this as alpha, then alpha and 118 are corresponding angles. And as such, alpha is 118. If alpha is 118, what can you tell about this angle? Remember, these two angles are of the same value, because this is an isosceles triangle. These two are of the same value. Remember, if I call this as beta, then alpha and beta are supplementary angle, and the total alpha plus beta is 180. So alpha plus beta is equal to 180, but alpha is 118. Then 118 plus beta is equal to 180 degree. As usual, let's move 118 over to the left. It becomes minus 118. Then beta is equal to 180 degree minus 118, which is equal to 62. So beta is 62. This one is also 62 degree. Remember, the total value of 3 angles in the triangle is 118. Then 62 plus 62 degree plus y is equal to 180. Then 62 plus 62, if you add up together, is 124. Plus y equal to 180. Then if we move 124 over to the left, it becomes 100 minus 124. So y is equal to 180 minus 124. So y is equal to 56 degree. Move on to the next question. Question number 6. There's a triangle, and we have 2 parallel lines there, at the bottom and at the top. 2 of the angles are given at 80 degree and 42. And the question is, find the value of A plus B. Please take a look at the question carefully, understand it fully, and then try it on your own. Solve the question. And then pause the video before that. Are you ready? Have you found the answer? Let's take a look at how I solve it. Okay, we have 2 parallel lines, one at the top, one at the bottom. There are 3 angles given at the top over here. These 3 angles could confuse you a little bit. So let's try to take a look at what clue does it give here. These 2 parallel lines can give you some clue. Let me show you a letter C over here. Remember about this letter C? These 2 green angles there. What are they? These 2 angles here are interior angles. And the total of 2 interior angles is 180. Then A plus 80 degree plus B. A plus 80 is this one, and then we plus B, this one, right? Because these 2 yellow angles now, if you add up together, that is equal to 180, because they are interior angles. Let's move 80 over to the left, and becomes 100 minus 80. Okay, let me correct that. Minus 80 degree. On the left side of the equation, what is left? Yes, only A plus B is left. That is the question. That is the answer that we are trying to figure out. That is equal to 180 degree minus 80 degree. So A plus B is equal to 100 degrees. So that's the answer that we're looking for. Move on to the next question. Question number 7. 2 parallel lines at the top and the bottom, and you have 2 lines adjoining. The question is, find the value of A. So pause the video, understand the question, and try it on your own. When you're ready, you can continue playing the video. Are you ready now? Alright, then this is another question that requires some creativity and some imaginations. It is not that easy. It is not so obvious if you look at it at the diagram like this. So what can you tell about this? Perhaps if I draw a line adjoining that point and the point below here, imagine that as a straight line. Does it give you any clue at all? Yes, that blue line is actually a transversal. Then, if I name this angle as alpha and this angle as beta, what is the relationship between alpha and beta? Yes, they are interior angle, and as such, alpha plus beta is equal to 180. The total of 2 interior angles is 180. We have a further challenge. We still need to find the acute angle here. If I name that as x and this as y, if we know these 2, then we can find the value of A, because that is a triangle and the total value of 3 angles is 180. So if we know x and y, then we can find A. alpha plus beta is 180, but alpha is equal to x plus 25 degree and beta is equal to y plus 75 degree. So if you add them up together, alpha plus beta, then that becomes x plus 25 degree plus y plus 75 degree, that is equal to 180. So we have an algebraic problems here. We can solve this. What is the value of 25 plus 75 if we add together? We just leave x plus y over here. 25 plus 75 is equal to 100 degree, equal to 180 degree. Let's move 100 degree over to the left, it becomes minus 100. So x plus y is equal to 180 minus 100 degree, that is equal to 80 degree. Okay, now remember this triangle, if let me draw in green. The sum of the three angles in that triangle is 180. And as such, x plus y plus a is equal to 180. But x plus y equal to 80 degree. Then 80 degree plus a is equal to 180 degree. If we move 80 over to the right, that becomes minus 80. Then a is equal to 180 degree minus 80 degree, which is equal to 100 degree. That's the value of a. There's actually another way to do that, but now I leave that to you to figure out how to solve this question using another method. Perhaps I'm giving you a clue if you want to try, if you like challenges. Then you can think along this route. Okay, if I extend this line, straight line over here, and I extend straight line over here, then perhaps you can see a clue over there. So go on with your adventure. Try to find value of a, which is 100 degree that we have already found out, but go and try to find out other alternatives, other ways on how to solve the problem. Maybe you can find something that is simpler than what I've gone through over here. In the meantime, let's go to the next question. Question number 8. We have two parallel lines, EB and DC, and we have one horizontal line, ABC, and we have two cross lines, BD and EC. So go ahead, read the question carefully, understand it, and try to solve the question, which is the value of A, B, and C. I hope you like the challenge. Go and pause the video now. Are you ready? Okay, now the diagram looks a little bit intimidating, but there are things that you need to remember immediately. These two parallel lines, they have some meanings to it. And there we have also triangles, BCD, this triangle, and remember the total of the three angles in that triangle is 180. Likewise, the other triangle, BCE, if you add up all the three angles, is also equal to 180. So why don't we just arrange all our information assets now? And let's take a look at how we can solve this problem later on. First of all, let's take a look at these two angles in green. What can you tell about these two angles? They are interior angles. Interior angles, if we add up together, it becomes 180. Then A plus C, which is this angle, plus B plus 37 degree is equal to 180 degree. So if we move 37 over to the left, then it becomes minus 37. So A plus B plus C, I rearrange that, equal to 180 minus 37, which is equal to 143 degree. So that is our equation number 1. So what are the other information assets that we have? Remember this triangle ECB. The total of the 3 angles is 180. Then let's write another equation. A plus C, which is this angle over here, plus 33 degree plus 37 degree is equal to 180 degree. So what is 33 plus 37? Then A plus C plus 33 plus 37 is 70 degree equal to 180. As usual, let's move the numbers over to the right. This becomes minus 70. So A plus C is equal to 180 minus 70, which is 110 degree. So this is our equation 2. So we have 2 equations already. We can find the value of B now. Why? Because equation 2 we have A and C. A plus C over here. And equation 1 we have A plus B plus C. So what if I do this? Equation 1 minus equation 2. What will happen? So take a look at the left hand side. Take a look at this. If we minus these 2 red boxes from equation 1 minus equation 2, what will happen? A plus A and A, then it's gone. A minus A is gone. C minus C is also gone. What is left is B. Then 143 minus 110 becomes 32 degree. So that is the value of B. Okay, now next piece of information, the triangle BDC. The total of the 3 angles in this triangle is also 180 degree. Then B plus 37, which is this one, plus 49 degree, which is that one, plus C, which is this one, is equal to 180 degree. But B is 33 degree. Then 33 plus 37 plus 49 degree plus C is equal to 180. Let's add up all this together. 33 plus 37, which is 70, plus 49, which is 119. Then 119 degree plus C is equal to 180 degree. Move 119 over to the left, it becomes minus 119. So you can find out the value of C. So C is equal to 180 minus 119, which is equal to 61 degree. So we found out the value of C. We found out the value of B. What about A? Yes, we can use equation 2. I'm continuing to find the value of A over the left side at the bottom here. Put C equal to 61 into 2. So then A plus 61 degree is equal to 110 degree. So move 61 over to the left, becomes minus 61. So A is equal to 110 minus 61, which is equal to 49 degree. There you have it. We now have the value of A, B and C. I hope you get the same answers as mine. Yes, this question is a bit lengthy, but it's worth the effort, it's worth the practice. Let's go to the next question. Question number 9. With question number 9, we have 2 parallel lines. And then we have 2 transversal. This is not transversal, but just 2 lines, adjoining lines, cutting through that parallel lines. The question is to find the value of A. So pause the question, understand the question properly, try it yourself, and then you can continue playing the video. Okay, are you ready now? This is again a tricky question. You need to have a little bit of imagination. To help with our imagination, I can do this. I can draw another parallel lines over here that's crossing these joints over here. And if I do that, what can you tell about this angle in green? What is the relationship between this green angle and 30 degree? Their corresponding angle, and as such, this is also 30 degree. What about this one? The one in magenta. What's the relationship between that angle and A over here? Again, their corresponding angle, and as such, this is the same A. The same value A over here. And then let's take a look at these 260, 30 degree and A. If we add them up together, it becomes 360. So we have one equation that we can work out. A plus 30 degree plus 260 degree is equal to 360 degree. Then A plus 30 plus 260 becomes 290 degree, equal to 360 degree. Move 290 over to the right, then become minus 290. So now A is equal to 360 minus 290 degree, which is 70 degree. So that's the answer. Interesting, eh? Let's go to the last question. This is the last question. If you have seen my previous video, then you know I'm repeating this question again. Remember in the last video, in I think example 3, if I'm not mistaken, I did tell you that there are a few ways to answer these questions. And the method that I show you in the previous video is a little bit lengthy. I have a shorter method to solve this question. Why don't you go ahead, spend some time, understand the question, try to solve it yourself. Either you use the long method or short method, it doesn't really matter. Because in the exam, what matters most is you get the answer the fastest time possible. So go ahead and pause the video now. When you're ready, you can continue playing it. Okay, are you ready now? If you remember correctly, I work out on all the angles over here because the total of all the angles here is 360 degree because they are complete rotation. But there is a shorter way to do that. I can only work out this angle over here because this angle, if I can name it as alpha, alpha and x total is 180 because they are supplementary angles. How are we going to find the value of alpha? Alright, let's do that step by step. Take a look at this angle in magenta. Because that angle in magenta is equal to the blue angle plus the green angle. The angle in the magenta and 105 are alternate angles. Alternate angles have the same value, so this is 105 degree. What about the green angle? The green angle and 40 degree here are also alternate angles, and as such the green angle is 40 degree, and as such angle alpha is equal to 105 minus 40 degree, which is equal to 65 degree. And then alpha plus x is equal to 180 because they are supplementary angles. But alpha is 65. So 65 degrees plus x is equal to 180 degree. Moving 65 over to the left become minus 65. So x is 180 degree minus 65 degree, which is equal to 115. As you can see, the method that I'm doing now is a little shorter than the previous method that I did in the previous video. I hope you learned something on these exercises, and I recommend that you continue trying to solve more questions from your textbooks or from other reference books that you have, because practice makes perfect. The more questions you make, the more experience you have answering the question, and it's easier for you to go and solve some complex problems. So I wish you all the best. I hope to see you again in my future videos. Bye-bye.